Hey guys, I'm Randy.
And I'm Daniel.
And I'm Katherine.
It's a special episode of the Gaming Gig Podcast.
Yes, it is, because today I'm playing the third wheel as Randy and Katherine take us through their top 10 couch co-op games of 2022.
All right, so for those of you guys at home, this is my wife, Katherine.
That's his wife, Katherine.
And we brought her on today because we're going to talk about co-op games that we played this year. She's laughing. But we're going to go through our top 10 co-op games that we played in 2022. Now, just to be clear up front, some of these games didn't come out, I think like most of them didn't come out in 2022. But we play co-op games every night, so we thought, why not count down the best ones we played this year? So, Katherine, number 10.
Mugged down.
The number 10 game on our list is Fable 2. The thing about Fable 2 is that the game is actually really good. And it's got like a really cool atmosphere, and the story's really neat. But the co-op mode does leave some things to be desired, which is why it's number 10 on our list.
Yeah, and I remember when we did the podcast earlier, was it this year when we had those guests on? We talked co-op games. And
yeah, that was early this year.
Was that this year? Man, it seems a lot's happened since that podcast. But they talked a lot about, games that didn't treat the co-op mode as an afterthought. And
right.
I know you guys run into that a lot. So
Yeah. The biggest problem I had with it was that it didn't save my progress as the second player. Like, if you closed out of the game, it lost everything you had collected.
Right.
That sucks.
Yeah.
We mostly avoided that because we played it on Xbox, and we had quick resume. And it didn't really, I think we may have lost your progress like a couple times. But it definitely, it's like a drop in, drop out co-op.
Yeah.
And it's not amazing, but the game is really good. So another issue was the camera.
Yeah, if you get too far out of frame, you're out of luck.
Yeah,
You
because
can't see what you're doing.
It won't just teleport you there like the old Donkey Kong games or Mario games or whatever?
I don't think so.
it
No, I don't
did.
think it did.
Someone had to find you, or the player one had to find you.
Yeah, you had to go back. And the thing about the game, I think Fable 2 in general does have a free camera, but when you play it in co-op, it changes to a fixed camera. Like set angles depending on where you're at. I think it is an automatic sort of camera. Now, we played Fable 3 as well, and it's not on the list because although the co-op mode in Fable 3 was much better, it was actual, you saved your progress, and it had a lot of, more customization in terms of characters and stuff. The game was worse.
Yeah, we didn't even finish it.
No. But Fable 2, I do think it was a fun co-op game, so it's worth on the list, but just barely made the list.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna try to herald you through the rest of this journey since I'm totally the third wheel in this conversation. But number 9 on your list is Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons.
Yes. Now this is an interesting game, Brothers, because Brothers is not.
Now listen,
I'm telling you, brothers.
Isn't
brother, what are you gonna do when they wrap these pythons around you?
No.
That's Hulk Hogan, by the way.
I figured that.
Goodness me, we're never going to make it through this. So, Brothers is a single-player game, but there is on the Switch, only on Switch, when they brought it to Switch, they introduced a co-op mode.
Good.
Because the whole gimmick of the game initially was that it was you controlled one brother with one stick, and you controlled the other brother with the other stick, but it was a single-player game. But now
He's both sides of your brain.
Yeah. So now they've split it to where you can actually use two different people, which I think makes the game better. I mean, I didn't play it in single player, but I don't feel like it would be as good. It'd be a different type of game, obviously, because you'd be juggling it. But
Yeah. Because it was a very simple game. It was one button controlled.
Yeah, I think that's
everything.
I think that's just because of the way it was. It was it was
Yeah.
meant to be played with one person.
If you're having to juggle.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a simple game. It was a short game.
Very short.
But overall, it was a very good game.
Yeah, it had a sweet story. Kind of sad. But it redeemed. It ended. I don't know.
Yeah,
I like sad. I like a little sad in my games.
Yeah. You'd like this.
How long do you think the game was?
Well, when I looked it up, it said 4 hours.
4 hours? I feel like it was even shorter than 4 hours. I feel like we only maybe played 3. It only took us 3 hours to get through it.
Yeah.
It was super short. But it was good. I think it would take longer if you played it single player.
Probably.
I think I own that game on Epic, maybe. I think Epic might have given it away for
Was
free.
that the same people that made It Takes Two?
Brothers? Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think that's one reason we...
That is the reason we played it, yeah. Because it's by the same... it's the same guy. Joseph Fares, I think is his name. And he made Brothers, and then he went on to make what is it, A Way Out, and It Takes Two. So
Very cool.
yep.
All right. Well, number 8 on your list is right up Catherine's alley.
That's right.
Lego Harry Potter.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's not written here, but actually we played the Lego Harry Potter collection.
Well, half of the
Apologies.
collection.
Yeah.
We
That's
weren't
right.
very
We played
specific.
the
So it's 1 through 4 and 5 through
7.
7, but
Yeah.
I feel like they may have done 5 through 8
No,
because
well,
I feel like it was done.
they do it
with
like
the
the movies?
They did it like the movies, where 7 was 2 different parts.
Yeah. So I played 1 through 4 by myself, and then we played 5 through
7.
7.
Yeah, as co-op. I thought the weirdest, like one of these Lego games, they're simple games. They're kind of like collectathons.
Which I like. That's really like it scratches an itch for me. Randy hates it.
Yeah, I don't mind collectathons,
No, you do.
but I like.
That's definitely not my thing.
That's like in Luigi's Mansion. I wanted to vacuum up everything, and you would be like, "Let's go."
Yeah, and like in Lego games, there's always, what are they called? What are the little Lego pieces called? Like I don't know.
Bricks? Gold? No, you collect.
You collect bricks, but they're the little, like the little nubbins on the end of the Lego pieces. I don't know what they're called.
The what?
Little nubbins. You know how like a Lego pieces has
The Widow
little,
Nubbins. That was my nickname in high school. Little Nubbins.
Little nubbins was your nickname in high school?
Mm-hmm.
But they're like scattered around everywhere.
Yeah,
And
they're like coins, but they're not.
Yeah, and you collect them throughout the game. And Catherine, you want to collect every
I
single
did,
thing
and I
in the
wanted
game.
to get every purple one because it was like worth 10,000 nubbins.
What are they called?
I don't know.
I don't know.
From henceforth, they are known as Nubbins.
They're Lego nubbins.
And when I put up my mixtape next year, I'm going to go back under the name Lil Nubbins.
Little nubbins.
Little nubbins.
LIL' Nubbins.
It sounds like a baby snack.
Well, maybe that'll be part of my brand.
He'll have he'll have his own Gerber line of food. Mm-hmm. Little nubbins.
It'll have my
Your
face on it.
Yeah.
But not a baby picture, just me being like mean mugging, you know? Anyway, moving on. Next, number 7 on your co-op list, you have...
Wait. We didn't finish Harry Potter. I want to
Oh, I
talk
thought you
about
did.
the issue. No.
Oh, my bad. There are issues.
There were issues. Okay, I will. The split screen, like if you got too far away from each other, it was variable. So like it wasn't just up and down. It would also go diagonal, and then it would move, and then it would move again, which was a little
That's crazy.
disorienting. It was crazy.
It makes me think of like a comic book, the way they split frames.
It
Yeah.
was, but it would move with you, and so you were like, ooh.
That's really weird.
So, yeah, I think so, because what they wanted to do, I think, is if you were close to each other, the game wasn't in split screen.
Yep.
It was just like, because
Yeah.
you were close enough on the camera to be just on one screen. But then as you started splitting apart, depending on what direction you split apart, it would just draw a line between you. And if you were split, left or right, it would draw a line in the middle. If you were split top and bottom, it would draw it diagonal. And then it would just move.
It would move.
However you were based on your relationships to each other.
And it was like, okay, focus on one spot.
Yeah, that seems like it would almost make me dizzy to like track that around
it
the
did
screen.
at first.
At
was
first,
like,
it
whoa.
definitely was.
Yeah.
It was very disorienting. But I got used to it.
Well, I did too.
And it was no problem. In fact, I
Yeah.
think it worked really well. I think it was a really clever way to do split screen.
Mm-hmm.
But it, at first it like almost made
It's
you
a little
motion
get used
sick.
to, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But the Lego games are really funny. So I think
They're
that's like
funny.
the best part about it is they have really good humor and they really like, I guess like pay tribute and are to the source material.
Mm-hmm.
So I think fans
Well, to the movie.
to the movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. These were definitely based off the movie and not
Yeah,
the game.
which is
I mean, not
fine.
the books.
Yeah, that's okay.
But
Have you guys got into the Skywalker saga yet?
no, we haven't though. We're looking forward to that one. I think that one's going to be even better because it's newer and I think there's probably like more stuff to do.
You know, I realized that I also picked that up earlier on Steam.
Ah. So there you go. Mm-hmm. You got to save that. I know what you're wanting to say. You got to save that.
Just saying. I bought it on Steam.
I know. Okay, moving on.
Your mug is sweaty.
Yeah, it's because the water in it came right out of the fridge. So it's got condensate on the outside of it. through the process of condensation. So moving on to number 7 is Escape Academy,
Yep.
also known as Escape Academy.
Yes.
So Escape Academy is a escape room game. You know, like the places you go that are in the strip malls, and you go into the room and they are
Well, they're not
What kind of
always.
malls?
strip malls, not stripper malls. Those are different, but just strip
What
malls.
malls you been going to, bro?
So, ooh, I know, right?
A little edgy for the Gaming Gig podcast.
But I liked the game, but I had some issues with it.
I liked it.
Do tell.
Well, one, the graphics were, it was a new game. It came out this year. I'm pretty sure it came out this year. And, it was an indie game, so you got to give it some, slack there, but I didn't really like the way it looked. And also, it was a little janky with the controls.
Yes, that's true. The co-op mode, sometimes it would freak out, and it would glitch real bad.
Right. It was like...
It was like you'd hit a button and it wouldn't do anything. And
Or the you'd be moving around it wouldn't move, or it'd be really laggy.
Yeah.
It seemed like it would just pick one of us that it would control well, and the other one it just wouldn't work right. Mm-hmm. The controls would be all sorts of bonkers.
And when you're trying to break out of a room,
You
For
can't
your
have
time.
you have to have precise controls.
Oh, you have to have enough time to complete it because, you have to dedicate enough time because some of the rooms are 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And if
Dang.
you mess up, you just have to
Yeah, you have to start over. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's
That sounds frustrating.
a thing where you can buy more time.
You can. I don't remember how what in-game currency it uses,
Yeah.
but you could buy more time and stuff. But this is fairly high on our list because I think we did have a lot of fun with it, despite
it was a
the
lot
jank.
of fun. Yeah.
And despite me not loving the graphics. What do you think about the graphics?
It was a look, but it was fun.
Yeah.
They were consistent.
Yeah. I think that this game, like most games, they have single player and co-op modes. I do think that this is one of the games where I think it's going to be much better in co-op.
I feel like it would be hard in single player.
Yeah. Like it said at the beginning of the game, it was we recommend having a pencil and paper,
Yeah.
ready to go. We never had to do that
No, because we had two of us.
because we had two of us. We could have someone looking at the clue and the split screen. The other person could read off the numbers or whatever the clue was and stuff. We didn't have to
Yeah.
write down all this stuff. It would be very difficult if
It
you're playing
wouldn't
by
be
yourself.
a relaxing game to play by yourself. It wasn't relaxing to play co-op.
Right, because every room is timed.
Yeah.
And you have to get it done by the time, or you got to start it over.
Yeah.
And like you said, some of them are 45 minutes long. So
Yeah.
you sink a lot of time into these rooms. And there were times where we got really close to the end, and then we weren't able to solve the room. So we were well, that was 45 minutes
Gone.
gone. We got to try it again.
We'll try tomorrow. Because we only play games at night for an hour.
Right.
I feel like y'all used to do 2 hours. Am I right about that? I feel like y'all used to do 10 to midnight, but maybe I was wrong.
No, I don't think we've ever
I
done.
could do that.
Yeah.
Because we do 8 to 10, on the streaming days. And
We do 10 to
You
11.
do 10 to 11.
Roughly. Sometimes.
Sometimes it goes over.
Yeah.
Sometimes we start a little late.
Or sometimes we're real tired and just can't make it.
Yeah. that's what happens when you play games at night.
I have nights like that when it's 8 o'clock. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand. But moving on, if you're ready.
I'm ready.
Ready.
Yeah.
Number 6 on your list is a 2 for the price of 1 with Little Big Planet 2 and Little Big Planet 3 for
Right.
Dale.
I see your note.
I didn't make this, actually. This was y'all's notes. What's up?
So we grouped Little Big Planet 2 and 3 together
Not the same game.
because one, we gave them the same score in terms of when we rated them. We thought they were both equally good, and they're also very similar.
Yeah.
They're not much different from each other.
If you like one, you'll like the other.
Right.
Yeah.
These are PlayStation. Wait, Little Big Planet 3 is on PS4, and Little Big Planet 2 is on PS3.
Okay.
Yeah.
But wait, we played them.
We played Little Big Planet 2 on PS3.
What else did we play on PS?
Rayman.
Oh, that's right.
So,
Okay.
but Daniel's adding notes about how bad I'm not even going to say it. I'm going to leave it up to the imagination.
They made this outline.
That's rude. Rude.
Anyway, sidebar about the PS3, because I was at your house when y'all were doing that once, and I just picked up the PS3 controller, and I could not believe how much worse it felt.
It feels cheap.
It really did.
Yeah.
It really felt cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure back in the day it didn't. But compared to like the DualSense now, I was like, this is bad.
Yeah.
And the little nubs are so short.
Well, the nubs,
The little
too,
nubbins.
the nubbins, they feel like they're kind of disintegrating.
Mm.
That may just be the one I was using, though.
Yeah, they're like really heavily textured.
Yeah.
And I feel like, the kind of like the texture can wear off over time.
Yeah.
But the plastic wasn't textured, so my hands got really sweaty on that smooth plastic, but then the nubbins were like... What are those called? They're not nubbins.
Handles.
No, they're not handles.
Are you not talking about the handles of the controller?
No,
What are you
she's
talking
talking
about?
about the joysticks.
Oh, the joysticks.
joysticks. Yeah, the joysticks were kind of goopy feeling.
They're like, they're not goopy, but
Mine was goopy.
Goopy.
It was like the rubber was kind of starting to flake off.
at this point, the PlayStation 3 is getting old, so those controllers are probably old.
Yeah.
But they are. Every time we played a PlayStation 3 game this year, you every day complained about how bad you hated the controllers.
I did, and I felt like the controls were slow. It was just like...
Goopy.
I wonder what...
Like you were playing through Goop.
I wonder what kind of wireless technology the PS3 controller uses.
I don't know, but if you know the answer to that question, you should give us a comment answering it and say hashtag Goopy.
Hashtag goopy.
Spell it however you feel.
But talking about the games, Little Big Planet 2 and 3, these are platformers. But the thing that's like kind of I guess like what I think of as being its gimmick is that they are 2.5D. They're like the only like really true 2.5D platformers that I played. So they are, side-scrolling platformers, but within the side-scrolling thing, you have like a little bit of forward and back. It's kind of like maybe like 3 levels of it.
Yeah, you can like go into a shelf and then come back out of the shelf.
But it's really shallow. Like it's very, very shallow field of where you can move forward and back. And it's kind of like on set paths. Mm-hmm. That can make it confusing.
It can. You can't tell if you can go in or out, and it's something you have to get used to.
Like those Yoshi games? Don't the Yoshi games do that? Like the Crafted Worlds and
The Crafted World, the Crafted World has the mechanic of where you can turn the level around backwards and you can see like the opposite side of it. But I think you can go in and out too, I think. I think it has some of that. You didn't play that game. You're thinking of Woolly World.
Woolly World, okay. Another thing about that game, both of them, was it was kind of like the drop-in thing where the second player, your progress didn't save. So if you had a special costume on, you had to re-adorn yourself
Every
each
single time.
Yeah.
Oh, we know that struggle from playing Sea of Thieves. Not with the costumes, but with ships.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Having to readorn is a pain.
Well, it kind of is.
Well, I mean, like, it is just kind of annoying that, a lot of these games, I do like drop-in, drop-out co-op because it's just so convenient, but it does make it difficult for, it's hard to be invested as player 2.
Yeah.
That being said, they are really good platformers.
Oh, yeah.
They're
They were
really
a lot
fun.
of fun.
They have, you get lots of fun, like, abilities, and they're all really interesting.
Yeah.
Really, we like pretty much everything about it. The stories are kind of, like, hard to follow.
I was very confused. At one point, I was just like, I give up.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do what they put in front of me.
Right.
That sounds wrong.
I'm
I'm just going to do what they put in front of me. Word.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so now we're going to be moving into the top 5. This is where we really got the best co-op games.
This is where you guys really have to bring the heat.
Right, yeah.
So, number 5, Human Fall Flat.
Such a good game.
Yeah, we loved it.
Yeah.
And what was weird is that I played this single player. I played some of it single player and did not like it at all.
At first, it's very frustrating. It's like there's a pretty steep learning curve, and
That like ragdoll physics is really tough to get used to.
yeah, I remember it's like the first level where you're trying to pull a train car.
Mm-hmm.
It took us forever to move that train car.
They're heavy. Train cars are heavy.
It's true.
Like in that game you're really battling the physics.
Yeah.
Like that's
Like part of the game though,
It
right?
is.
Like they
yeah.
want
It
you
is.
to
Yeah.
You get really good at it though eventually, but at first it's just like, whew, it's a lot.
yeah. And I think that it can be very frustrating if you're playing it by yourself. But when you're playing it with someone else, all those like moments just become hilarious.
Yeah.
Because you have all that crazy stuff that happens, and you get flung everywhere, and you didn't mean to, or something. You're trying to grab something, and you got to like do precise timing, you can't get it, and it's just so funny.
Yeah.
But I think if you're playing it by yourself, not so funny.
Yeah.
Just frustrating.
No,
Like
it
a
would've
Fall
just
Guys
made
or
me
something?
mad.
Is it kind of like a Fall Guys? Like,
Yeah, but like imagine the Fall Guys physics ramped up, like even worse.
It's like
Oh,
trying
no.
to control a wet spaghetti noodle
Yeah.
at first.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. But it was so much fun. We really loved
it's a
playing
good
it.
challenge. Yeah.
Great game in co-op. The co-op mode is really good. I don't remember if it saves progress in terms of like you can like add
Yeah, like you can put on a hat.
like costumes and stuff, but I don't really. I mean, it doesn't take
You're-
that long to do it, so it's
You're
not
like a
really
humanoid thing. It's okay. You don't.
Yeah, I kind of think it did save it for some reason, but maybe it was one of those things where we didn't really exit out of the game much, so we just didn't notice.
I barely remember playing that game.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
It was early this
Well,
year.
I mean, it was this year, but
Yeah, it was early this year.
Lots happened this year, Catherine.
Oh yeah.
So, moving on to number 4 on your list is a game that I also love, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. And I have a question because I'm reading your outline, and the only thing it says Kirby and the Forgotten Land on Stabby.
it's supposed to say only Stabby.
That clears that up.
What is Stabby?
Well, I was player 2, as I always am. And as player 2, you get one ability. As what is it? Bamblebee Waddlebee?
Bandana Waddle Dee.
Waddle Dee. Yeah, Bandana Waddle Dee.
Bandana Waddlebee?
D.
Different letter.
Bandana Waddlebee.
Yeah.
Okay. You have one ability, like, as your fighting move. What would that be called?
Your combat
Your
ability.
Yeah,
I mean,
you have
like-
one combat ability.
Well, I mean, you have a move set. It's not you don't just have one move. You have a whole like move set. Like
Did I?
Yeah,
'Cause I
because you
had
can.
one.
No, there are.
What else? Like, I could move.
Yeah,
Could you
but
jump?
you could do like you could jump. You could do different types of attacks, or like down attacks, up attacks, like side attacks.
Okay,
They-
you could do different attacks, but they all involved the spear, and you just.
Yeah, you could
They were
throw
all
the
stabby.
spear. You could. There was a lot of.
You could throw the spear?
Well, let me tell you.
That's not
I
stabby.
never threw the spear.
You could throw the spear. Yes, you did.
Did I?
Yes, remember there would be times when you would like, how Cappy. What am I thinking? Kirby.
Different game.
Have about as much
Different game.
independence as Cappy.
So like in Kirby, you can do the mouthful mode,
Yeah.
and as player 2, you can when Kirby's in mouthful mode, you can like hop on
That's
the back,
right.
and when you're hopped on the
Yeah.
back, you can chunk spears.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
That is hilarious.
It's a lot of fun.
I love that game.
It was a good game.
I never played as Stabby, though.
Well, you should
Oh, stabby.
I should.
on Stabby. Well, when you're fighting, you mainly just
Stab.
jab someone into oblivion.
Yeah.
So is it Jabby or Stabby?
I think it depends on the situation.
I agree. It's
Yeah.
contextual.
Sometimes it's a jab, sometimes it's a stab.
Yeah.
All right. You ready to move on to your top 3?
Well, I want to say that Kirby and
Okay.
the Forgotten Land is awesome in co-op, and it's and I didn't play it
And
single player,
single player.
but Daniel can probably vouch for that it's probably awesome in single player too.
It's a great game.
The art was beautiful,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, it's a good looking game.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on,
Some of those
Pokemon.
big set lists. The gig came out of me there.
Yeah.
Some of those big like set pieces at the beginning of levels look really good in Kirby.
Oh, yeah. You've been playing Pokemon a lot, and that windmill.
Oh, you're talking about how bad that looked. Pokemon looks awful. Like the new Pokemon games look terrible, and the Kirby's a great example of a game that looks amazing on Switch. It just shows that you can have a great looking game.
And Pokemon has no excuses. Like, for one, they have more money than God. And 2, like, it's not like they're going for a hyper-realistic look. If you're going for, like, a hyper-realistic art style, yeah, the Switch is going to be unkind to you.
Yep.
But Pokemon,
No excuses.
Come on.
Pokemon Snap, though, looked really good.
different company, though.
Oh.
Not Game Freak. Game Freak sucks. Although they did bring me things that have given me so much joy.
Well, same. And
That's why it hurts so bad.
yeah, it is.
So, top 3 for Dale?
Top 3 for Dale. Let's
All
do
right.
it.
Number 3 for Dale is Unravel 2.
Such a good game.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So, Unravel, the first game kind of used this idea of you're this little yarn creature, and you can throw your yarn and swing off things, and you can like kind of tie the yarn together and walk across it. And we
as
actually
you
we-
unravel
yeah.
in the first one.
Yeah. And we played Unravel together this year as well, but we didn't count on this list because we're coming co-op games only. But Unravel 2 is, although you can play it single player, it really is a co-op game. Like,
Yeah,
I think it was really meant to be played in co-op with one person controlling one yarn little dude and the other one controlling each other. And you have a piece of yarn now that's tied between you.
Oh yeah.
And you got to manipulate that yarn together to solve puzzles and traverse and like, you know.
We played them out of order. We played 2 before we played 1.
We did, yeah. But that game is so clever. The platforming is probably some of the most like clever puzzle platformers I've played. Mm-hmm. Yeah, very artsy.
Mm-hmm.
Looked
Yeah.
beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's relaxing.
Yeah,
It was hard not to fall asleep, but in like a good way.
in a good way. Yeah,
Yeah,
not like a
not because it was boring.
no.
Yeah, it was beautiful and so boring.
No. The story is a little
Esoteric.
vague.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 But I think that's just what they're going for. They're not
Yeah,
really
I'm
trying to
sure.
tell. I think they were trying to tell a story, but it was like if you wanted to get the story, you were gonna have to like
Really dig deep.
really dig to figure out what was going on.
Yeah. I thought the story was really sweet in the first one.
In the first game,
Yeah.
yeah, that
know
one
we're
was
not talking
that one
about
was a
that.
little more straightforward. Unravel
Yeah.
2, the story was a little more like, I don't know, it was filled with a lot of like illusions, yeah, and
Yeah.
like, you know, stuff like that. It's tough to explain without playing it.
Yeah.
That's illusion, by the way, for those of you keeping track of our literary devices at home.
Yeah, illusion,
not-
not
With an A.
not
Not
illusion.
eye illusions.
Illusions.
Man, I couldn't tell which way was up because of all them eye illusions.
That magician, he really got me with them illusions.
Man. When he pulled that rabbit out of his out of his hat, I thought that had to be an illusion. But then that thing hopped away.
All right,
Anyway,
moving on.
moving on from the illusions, we have a game that everybody knows about, Stardew Valley.
Yep, this is number 2.
Yep.
We loved Stardew Valley.
I got so excited to play Stardew Valley every night.
Yep.
Yep. We got in our little routines. We had our jobs.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun.
So if you don't know what Stardew Valley is, Daniel, explain what. Well, you've played a little.
A little bit, yeah. I know about Stardew Valley. It's an indie game made by one dude, and
Impressive.
it's like Harvest Moon on super steroids. So, you have a farm, you build up this farm, but you have a way more options than Harvest Moon as far as how to make money. You can do so many things with this farm.
Oh yeah.
You can go into town and help out people. I think you can get married.
Yeah.
You can.
You collect things and build up this museum. You can go fight monster things in this mine. Like you can just do, and it's like a little life simulator, little pixelized life simulator.
It is.
And you can do different things. Like each person can be like you can be mining and I can be
Yeah. So it's like the
Well, I don't know
co-op
what I
mode
was doing.
is great.
yeah.
So
it
it's
is.
split
It's
screen.
split screen
Oh, yeah.
co-op, and it's basically like you both have your own characters, and they are completely independent of each other. The only thing that you both live in the same plot of land, but you have your own house. You can have your own relationships. You can go on your complete own journeys. You can choose to share money or not share money. Like it's the co-op mode is
That's really cool.
It
Yeah.
was really cool.
really. We did choose to share money because it made it easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we harvested our own crop.
We worked on our own farm. Like we
Well,
worked on a
we
shared
shared,
farm.
yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like you said, like you got married, I stayed celibate.
That is hilarious.
It was fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like you can prioritize like what you want to do in the game,
Yeah.
what you want to work on, and you can each do individual things, but also help each other. And it's one of those things like I had played Stardew Valley on my own once before and done pretty much everything the game had to offer and loved it. And then they released the co-op mode, and I was like, Catherine, we got to play this game again. That's how good it is that I was able to play the entire thing twice and still like love it.
Because the first time you put many hours.
Many hours, yeah. I would say we put in at least, like between us, we put in at least 50 hours. And that's really, we did like the majority of the things the game has to offer, but it is one of those games that like you could play infinitely and there's always more stuff to do.
Yeah, but it was kind of like once we automated everything, it just wasn't fun anymore.
Yeah, you get to a point where like you're working on your farm so much that it becomes like a job.
Yeah.
And it's not as relaxing anymore like once you get to a certain point. That being said, you can always just start the game over.
Yeah, you could.
and just do it all over again, and go a different way of making money. Like we put a lot of time into making preserves and wines and like
beer.
those are the things we mostly made our money off of.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, we were very meticulous about like planning. Like it would be like, okay, our radishes are going to be done today. We can do that, and then we can put them in the barrels, and then
Yep. Make some radish pickles.
yeah,
Yeah, we made pickles, preserves, wines, and like beers and stuff like that. And that was our main income generator.
mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
We did a lot of mayonnaise.
You made
We
mayonnaise?
made a lot of mayonnaise.
We
Yeah.
made a lot of mayonnaise. Yeah.
We eventually got some cows and goats.
Well,
We made cheese.
Lots of cheese.
you know what they say, you got to break a few eggs to make a little mayonnaise.
It's true. That's
It's
That's
true.
the ingredient you use to make mayonnaise. Is eggs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I just looked up, just because I was thinking about it when you guys were talking about Stardew, about Haunted Chocolatier,
Yeah.
which is coming out from the same developer. And he said 5 days ago, apparently, he said that it's still relatively early in development and doubtful it'll be in 2023.
I wonder if it'll have a co-op mode.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Because I know Stardew Valley, it was added later. Like it was, tacked on.
But it was really good.
Yeah, but it worked really great. We loved it. And so I guess that brings us to the number one co-op game we played this year.
Yep, taking the number one spot. It's 2 games again. What is up with this? This is a top 10, not a top 12, y'all. Anyway,
Wow.
Rayman Legends and Rayman Origins.
I felt like we had to include both of them. I know it's kind of
Cheap.
cheap to put 2 games, but
Yeah,
both,
it's total cop-out.
both Rayman Origins and Legends, kind of like how we were talking earlier with the Little Big Planet series, how we kind of played both those games and we grouped them together because they're so similar. Origins and Legends are also extremely similar.
Yeah.
Legends is better than Origins, but only by a little bit.
Well, Legends also includes some Origins in it,
Like
too.
the vast majority of Origins is in Legends.
Yeah.
So that's another reason we thought we might as well include it, because when you're playing Rayman Legends, you unlock almost every level that's in Origins.
Yeah.
And you don't have to play them. They're not like
No.
part of the main campaign, but they're in a separate mode. Like if you want to go play those levels, you can. So like
That's cool.
Yeah.
yeah, and I feel like Rayman Legends, I may be wrong about this, but I want to say that initially, this can't be right. Was it initially a Wii U exclusive?
I don't know.
I don't know. I remember that I read that the reason that Legends contains like the bulk of Origins is that
Wait, I thought
the
we
Wii-
played it on PS4.
we did play it on PS4. I'm wondering if it was initially a Wii U. It may not have been, but I remember the developer or I don't know, one of the guys, maybe the the director, said that because on the Wii U, no one on the Wii U had access to Origins. He wanted to include those levels so that people could play the game on the Wii U. Maybe it wasn't exclusive. Maybe he just wanted that.
On your gamepad.
Yeah, on your gamepad. But Rayman Legends and Origins, that was probably the most difficult games we played this year.
There were some hard levels. Yeah. So much fun, though.
The craziness of those platformers is just like, it really goes to the next level in terms of like how difficult it is to get through stuff.
Yeah.
And how insane it is.
I mean, there were some levels I feel like we had to try them 30,
over.
40.
Yeah.
Like, really, it was hard.
Many, many times.
Maybe that's
That's
just
a lot.
like...
That's like Cuphead.
Yeah.
numbers.
Yeah, it was a
Oh, yeah.
lot.
Yeah. They're very difficult. And I think playing co-op is a really good idea, because if one of you makes it through,
Oh, yeah, you make it through the level.
you make it through. So
Yeah.
like if one of you dies, the other one can cheer them on and be like, "Oh, you can do it!"
Yeah.
Like stick it through. And that was what was so much fun about that, is you really were helping each other. It was like you were trying to get the other one through the level. If the other person died, you're like, "I'm gonna stick it out for you. I'm gonna make it."
We're going to get through this time.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Because what happens is if one of you dies, you get put into a bubble, and then you kind of like
Travel with
you
the
travel
person.
with, and then the other person can punch the bubble and you come back.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you're going through this crazy level, a lot of the time you just stay bubbled and you're,
Yeah.
spawn around.
Yeah. But if both of you die, obviously at that point, you have to start back.
Yeah.
So you really can help each other by relying on each other, I guess. Other than that, you really don't interact with each other. You're just both attempting the level simultaneously.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
But
those games are. I'm interested in those games
I
because
think
I
you
love
would like
platformers.
those.
yeah.
And they have a challenge for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Very challenging. But it's one of those things that like if you watch someone play some of the things, you'll be like, there is no way I could do that. It just looks insane.
Mm-hmm.
But they're so well put together, and the platforming, especially in Legends, is so fluid, and you have such great controls that even though it looks impossible, you eventually can pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
Like there were some levels that I got through, some hard levels.
Oh yeah.
Which
And you'll
Saying
finish it and you'll be
something.
like, I have no idea how I finished that.
no,
like
I
I got
went
so
into,
lucky.
a flow state.
You went into a flow state.
Yeah. Yeah. Games can do that to you.
Mm-hmm.
Legends, Rayman Legends was the only game this year that we played that we gave a 10 out of 10.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Which is a pretty good segue, actually, unless you've got more to say about.
No, we can
No.
definitely.
Okay, we're going to take advantage of this segue because Randy gave Rayman a 10 out of 10, which makes me wonder. You, the Gaming Gig faithful, we polled you. We asked, how do you keep track of which video games you've played?
Yes.
Stutter notwithstanding.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about this just as we were putting the outline together yesterday for this podcast. I was thinking like, it's a good thing that we keep track of what games we played, or we'd never be able to.
There is no way.
It'd be very difficult to recall every game, as many games as we played this year.
Mm-hmm.
As it'd be very difficult to put it all together and think about your thoughts on it and stuff like that. So, our results of the poll were, options we had were,
I don't know.
I use an app. What?
You said the results of the poll are, well, you know.
Well, you know the results.
They don't know.
No, our options were, I use an app, a game library, all in my head, or I don't. Yeah. Daniel, hit us with those percentages.
Okay. At a whopping 3%, you use an app. 19% of you use a game library. 68% of you do it all in your head. And 11% of y'all don't do it at all.
Yep.
Interesting.
I'm in the I don't.
You don't do
I
anything?
rely on you.
That's because Randy meticulously keeps up with that app.
He does.
I'll tell you, I'm a little behind on the app. Because I used the app for quite a while, and I realized that I haven't been doing it for quite some time.
You should.
Just to clear this up,
Yeah.
the app, the mystical
The
app,
app.
the app is a game track.
Now, do you have to buy it?
No, it's free. There is a paid version of it that unlocks more features, but it's really pretty fully featured
Yeah.
as a free app.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely don't.
Did you buy it?
Yes.
It's really cheap. It's like a
Okay.
few dollars for a year.
Yeah.
It's like nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very cheap, but it's a great app because what it utilizes the International Game Database, I think is what it's called. I'm not sure. But basically, all the games are there, and you can categorize them into like a backlog folders. You can put them into games that you completed. You can make wish lists. You can do all kinds of stuff, all kinds of different lists. And then you can also rate them. You can review them. You can do all kinds of things in the app.
It's a cool app.
Yep. So that's what I use. I use the app. Daniel used the app. But you're behind.
Yeah.
You rely on me.
Yeah, I don't do anything.
Would you do anything? I guess you probably wouldn't. You just keep
I
it in
just
your
don't
head.
play a lot of games other than what we play together.
You play a lot of
You
games.
play a ton of games, Catherine.
Well, but on my own.
You probably played more games this year than Daniel has.
I bet you have.
I mean, on my own.
Oh, on your own.
Yeah, on my own. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have time.
No, I have a tendency to fixate on a certain game. I don't jump around very well.
I mean, if it makes you happy, that's fine.
Right.
If it makes you happy. Thank you, Catherine. Randy doesn't really give me that sort of reassurance, so I appreciate that.
No.
Anytime.
If he doesn't do it my way, he's wrong.
You guys want to talk about some comments on the poll?
Let's do it, yeah.
Okay. So first up is a longtime commenter on the channel, Celeria Rose. Thank you for your input again. And Celeria Rose said, they just remember. I wouldn't say I have the best memory, but I'm generally pretty good at remembering the names of games/books and movies I've seen. The one exception being some anime or manga when the title is in Japanese. The language barrier is a nightmare for my memory to try to keep track of. That makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't beat yourself up over that.
No, that seems tough. I mean,
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to either.
if I was like playing like Japanese games, I would never be able to remember the name of them.
Mm-hmm.
Because how could you?
Yeah,
Unless you spoke Japanese.
right.
Or you practiced a lot.
Or you practiced a lot.
Konnichiwa.
Yeah, that's about as far as my Japanese goes as well.
Tomo origato, Mr. Roboto.
How cultured.
I am very cultured.
So we got another longtime commenter here. I still need
wanna
help
try.
with the pronunciation of that name. How
I
would you
think
say it?
it's Jeeves.
I do too.
7752.
Jeeves.
Said game library, similarly the trophy list as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. I was thinking that like I've gone back and looked at my Xbox. Is that trophies on Xbox?
Yeah.
It's a
Well,
is it achievements?
It's achievements. It's trophies on PlayStation.
Gotcha. Well, I was going through looking at my
They're
Xbox
the
achievements, and I realized like, you know, it keeps from all the way back from the Xbox 360. It still has them. You can go back and look at them now.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking back and I was like, man, I'd forgotten that I'd even played these games on Xbox 360, but there they were in my achievement list. So
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I at some point had to make a new account for some reason. I probably just couldn't get logged back into my old one or something, so I don't have that data.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well.
that's something that that is something that Nintendo's missing out on because they don't have those. So you can't go back and look at that particular set of data.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
Well, Nintendo's lacking in a lot of general quality of life areas when it comes to online, but that's for another podcast.
This next comment cracked me up.
Yes, me too. And it comes to us from Tamon Duon Mirinho.
I think it's Tam and Umirinho.
Tam and you Mirinho
I don't know.
says, who's the guy who uses an app for it?
There's an app for that?
Guilty.
Yeah, there is an app for that.
Oh, no. He's asking who's the one person that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's saying,
okay.
like, who's that guy?
Yeah. Who's nerdy enough to use an app to keep track of what games they played?
Mm-hmm.
Look, guys.
I don't know. I think that a few comments down is even.
Oh yeah, that one's it. We'll get to that one in a second.
Yeah.
You know, let's just skip to that one and we'll go back to the other one.
Which one is this?
This is the one from Tarzan Boy.
Gee.
Tarzan Boy G said Google Sheets. You know, if you're making a Google Sheet document,
Yeah. That's one, that's only one level of separation away from Excel. And once you're using Excel for your games, you've gone too far.
no, I mean, like honestly, if I didn't have the app, I might do something like that.
Yeah.
If
I've
you
been
really
known to do
wanted
that kind of
to-
stuff, you know.
Oh, I've seen YouTube videos. I watched a YouTube video about a guy who was working through his backlog. That's near and dear to me. And he had an Excel spreadsheet that was just meticulously curated with probable times for how long it would take him to complete the game, and it was massive.
He probably could have finished a game.
He
Time
probably
he-
could have finished a game in the time it took him to
Or
put that
multiple
together.
games.
But I appreciate that.
I do too.
appreciate that level of
Yeah, I liked that.
Dedication.
Yeah,
to-
dedication and
Yeah.
perfection.
Okay, so we skipped a comment.
We did.
From my favorite handle, or whatever they're called now.
Handles. I think it's YouTube handles.
Yeah. So this is Yasso Boy says, if I don't remember it, then the game wasn't that good in the first place.
Or it's so bad that it's memorable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Say that can go the opposite way, right?
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
you're only gonna forget the middle games.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna remember. You're not gonna forget a game that's trash, and hopefully you won't forget games that are really great. But I don't know. It's I think it's a numbers thing. I think depending on how many games you play, it becomes easier to forget games.
For sure.
But I mean, I do feel you on that. There's definitely games that I've forgotten. I'm sure there are games that I've forgotten that I ever played. I'll go back and look and be like, oh, I played that game. Okay. Yeah, I guess I remember that. So, what you looking up, Daniel?
Well, I was just reading ahead in the comments, and somebody said that we needed a website. Well, I mean, I'm skipping ahead. I'm kind of stealing your thunder here, man. But LCB said we need a website like My Anime List for video games. And I was like, I've never heard of this. I wonder what this looks like. And so I went to it, and it's really busy. There's a lot coming at me here.
So I saw this comment earlier, and I didn't go to the website, but I typed it in on Google and read the wiki page for it, and I think it's
It's a social networking thing.
It says cataloging.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some sort of cataloging thing.
But that's kinda like
I'm
the
telling
app.
you got to try the app.
Yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
try Game Track.
Yeah, that app works really good.
Or make a Google Sheets.
Yeah. Or Excel if you're if you're a nerd.
I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Google
and use
Sheets are cool.
Google
Excels are nerdy.
I have to use Excel all the time.
I know, I've had to use it from time to time, but I'm a nerd. And so are you, Catherine.
What?
You are. Just
You're a
admit
nerd.
it. Just admit it, Kat. You're a nerd.
I don't mean it.
I wouldn't have married
I
you
don't-
if you weren't a nerd.
I don't mean it badly.
No, it's endearment. In this,
It's cool to be nerdy now.
you're on a gaming podcast.
That's true.
We're nerds.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
I need some what is it?
What do you mean? Like you just need to realize that you're a nerd?
Yeah, self-actualization.
Yeah.
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 I need to come to terms.
You just need to come to terms with the fact that you're a nerd.
Yeah. I mean, you like quoted out of your like biochemistry textbook to me once.
I never took biochemistry.
What was it then?
Organic chemistry.
My apologies.
I never took
I'm so
biochemistry.
sorry.
They're different.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's our comments.
There's our comments.
So if you didn't vote on that poll, go vote on it. We'd love to hear from you.
Yep. So,
All right.
games of the week.
Games of the week, the final segment of the podcast. We didn't put one for Katherine here.
Well,
I guess it's the same games that
What
you.
would I do?
in the games of the week thing, we talk about what games we've been playing this week. Catherine, start us off. What games have you been playing this week? You've only been playing one game this week.
Yeah, I know, and I can't think about what. Hold on, what is it?
You,
Oh, that's right. Uncharted: The Lost Legacy.
yeah.
Chloe and
Nadine.
Nadine. That's right.
Nadine.
So
Nadine.
Uncharted is a single player game, but we've been passing the controller back and
Yeah.
forth. And we are on the last chapter. In fact, I think we're like on the tail end of the last chapter.
Well, we kept thinking that, and then it kept going. and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like one of those things, it's a big last chapter.
Yeah.
Did you ever find the legacy?
The legacy's been lost, man.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid
I don't
of.
know. I thought we found it. We're at the end of the game.
I guess we found the lost. I mean,
That's like the driving force of the game, right? You're trying to find the legacy that has been misplaced.
well, I mean.
Hidden.
Hidden,
Yeah.
even worse.
It was hidden and people lost it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of a spin-off Uncharted game because it does not follow Nathaniel Drakerton.
Pembroke.
Pembroke
No,
Esquire
Esquire.
III.
Yeah. Nathaniel Drankerton.
Pembroke Esquire.
Pembroke Esquire the Third.
That's right.
That is
Yeah.
awesome.
So that's our joking name for Nate Drake. But it's not him. It is Chloe. What is Chloe's last name? They've said it a million times in this game. I would have never known it.
Fraser.
Chloe Fraser.
Yeah.
Chloe Schmoey.
And what's so funny is like we have, you've watched me play all the Uncharted games, so
I
you're like
have.
really familiar with them
I started watching from
one, right?
Yeah.
And we always make up nicknames for characters in games. So like in the first game, what is the first female like
Tank top number 1.
Yeah, we called her Tank Top number 1, but we called her Tank Top Girl.
It's
during that game.
Elena.
Elena, right? And then in game number 2, your like female companion is Chloe, but
Who's
of course-
also in a
who is also in a
tank
tank top. So we just called her Tank Top Girl number
Well,
2.
I think we should give a little more insight into this. It wasn't just she was wearing a tank top. She was like wearing tank top on tank top on tank top.
That was
They were layers.
Elena,
Layers
the
of
first
tank
game.
tops?
Yeah, layers of
She
tank
had wearing
tops.
multiple. That's why we called her Tank Top Girl.
Because it was a lot.
She had on like multiple tank tops.
Yeah.
Why'd you
Which-
wear multiple tank tops?
Okay, so I will say.
Was she cold?
I think it was I don't know. I will say when I was a kid and I wanted to wear a tank top to school, you had to follow dress code. And if it wasn't 3 fingers, you couldn't wear it. So you would wear I guess it'd be like a wife beater. What are those called? What are the white tank tops with the thicker straps?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then-
I'm not editing that out.
You need to edit that out. And then you would have like a camisole on top of that, or like a thinner tank top. This is a really long
Camisole?
A cami.
a cami.
Right, okay, I've heard that.
Yeah.
A camisole.
It's a type of.
Sounds like something you bought at the Walgreens. Camisole. For your
Oh,
gal.
it's like a.
For your gal.
Yeah. It's like a medicine, Well, grandmammy, she don't walk like she used to. We gotta run down to the Walgreens, get her some camisole.
Oh, yeah. Your dad made a joke about,
What?
when someone doesn't have a butt, they've been taking that no acetol.
No acetol, that's right. Man, if my jokes are getting similar to John, that's okay. I'll take that.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about Tank Top, why we call her Tank Top Girl, and then Chloe was Tank Top Girl number 2. So I'm really bad at the names. But anyways, in Uncharted The Lost Legacy, you play as Chloe, a.k.a. Tank Top Girl number 2.
Fair enough.
Yep.
That's what you've been playing. I've also been playing that. I am on the very end of Pokemon Violet. I finished all the gyms. I just got to go do the Elite Four. And I maybe still have 1 or 2 things of the side. There's like multiple campaigns. There's like 3 different campaigns in Pokemon Violet. I'm at the end of all of them. So I'm about to finish that game completely.
Nice.
And then also I started playing Super Mario Land, which I've only taken one swing at it yet. And it's a game that has to be played from beginning to end in one sitting. So you have to finish the entire game because it doesn't have any saving. And you just have to finish it. It takes about an hour to finish the game, but if you lose all your lives, it's game over. You got to start over again. So that's something I'm gonna get through, but I've only tried it once.
Okay.
Gotta chill.
Anything else you've been playing, Randall?
I finished Evil West. Wrote a review on that. I loved Evil West. And also, we stream Fortnite and Sea of Thieves on Twitch, so I played those a little bit as well.
Straight up. I'm also playing Evil West. I haven't finished it yet because I am not able to play games during the week as quickly as Randy, but I will get there. I'm also playing Cyber Shadow still on the Switch, and I'm pretty close to the end of that, I think, but I didn't get to play it yesterday, so who knows? I might finish that today. Also, Fortnite and Sea of Thieves. I played a lot of Fortnite yesterday.
You've been playing it
I'm getting better.
PlayStation.
Yeah, I've been playing it on PlayStation. Because I can play 120 FPS because of my TV and...
And you can cuddle Annie.
You can cuddle with Annie. Annie is Daniel's cat, by the way.
She will sit in my lap and try to get me killed, basically.
I think
she will distract me.
A shame that she's not here.
Let's say
Katherine thought that we could have her in the room while we record the podcast, and as a person who owns 5 cats, I'm surprised that she doesn't understand how bad of an idea that is. I love that cat, but for one, the camera would be in the floor.
it would.
I mean, right there, that's a problem, right there. Among other things, would be in the floor. I mean, it'd be bad.
I think it would be. We'd have the cat crawling on us for sure.
Oh, yeah. She'd be crawling on us. She'd be up here on the table. She'd be behind us. And the camera, again, would be in the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd just make interesting content.
Well, maybe when she grows up and she won't knock the camera in the floor, she can be in the podcast.
I feel like we need to really talk about the real reason you've been playing on PlayStation, Fortnite. Going back to that. The real reason you've been playing. What's the real reason?
Convenience.
No, it's not convenience.
I really like being able to just chill in the living room with the cat and, just live my best life on the big TV. And it's just really convenient. The adaptive trigger support. Because on PlayStation, Fortnite has adaptive trigger support, and it's really fun.
What's the real reason?
The real reason.
Oh, it's...
Let me tell you. So, this is something that you may not know. You probably don't know. That is, Fortnite is an interesting game in that if you play it on PC with a mouse, all right, if you're aiming, you just aim with your mouse and everything, you have total control. Now, if you're playing it on a controller, don't mess with your mic.
I was going to put it on my stomach.
Oh, because you have stomach grumbles?
Oh, that is awesome.
I hope that comes through.
I just heard it, so...
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's still, you need some lunch.
That's totally something I would do.
But if you play it with a controller, say on PlayStation or Xbox or Switch, it adds this thing called aim assist, and it makes it...
Does it?
Absolutely.
I think I might have that turned off.
Yeah, okay. And it makes it so that it just automatically snaps to either their head or their body when you're shooting. You don't.
Now, Randy makes it sound like it's just straight up on automatic, like Evil West or something, where you can aim down the rifle and it does snap. It's not like that, but it helps you a lot. It's a strong aim assist, and I do have it 100%. But all the other things I said are true. Yeah. It does have adaptive triggers.
Right.
It does run at 120 FPS.
But I've also.
it would do that on my PC if my monitor could do it.
Yeah.
But
I've also heard you say aim assist is broken.
Aim assist is OP.
Yeah.
And I want it.
I did turn that on Uncharted for Catherine. Mm-hmm. That was one of the settings I turned on at the beginning.
You turned it on?
Yeah.
I feel cheated. I thought...
Are you having fun? That's all that matters. You told me that earlier.
I was having fun. But I thought that it just was automatically on. I didn't know you gave me a crutch.
I wanted to make the game a little more accessible for you. Those combat sections are difficult.
They are difficult.
Think about how much you struggle with it with the aim assist turned on.
Well, once I figured out how to use that, I didn't struggle so much.
Listen, as somebody who plays shooting games with Randy pretty frequently, if anybody could benefit from aim assist, it's him. So don't let him beat you up.
Sometimes the truth hurts, guys.
Then there should be driving assist in that game.
I know.
I wish.
Yeah.
And in real life.
And in real. Well, there kind of is.
That's true. If you have it.
So we're at the end now. Before we do our last thing, we got to remember our sponsor for the episode today.
Yeah, you want to tell us about our sponsor,
Catherine? You want to do the sponsor? Today's episode is sponsored by...
Hold it up to the people.
Really
tell them about
confused.
it. Tell them about the game. Yeah, you guys played that, I think.
No, I've never played this.
What is it?
Ghost Rider for PlayStation 2.
Right. Mm-hmm.
There's an angry man. He seems to be on fire.
Okay.
And it's rated T for teen. Don't let your kids play it. Alcohol reference. Blood and gore. Stop, I'm trying to get through this.
This is the best ad spot we've ever had.
Mild suggestive themes. And violence.
The most important part.
Let's see, hold on. One player, not for us.
Not for us.
This really doesn't fit the theme.
Okay, I gotta read the back. His soul locked in perpetual servitude. Johnny Blaze. Lights up the night skies as his alter ego, the Ghost Rider. Help him protect others from experiencing his hell on Earth by bringing evil villains like Blackheart, Vengeance, and Scarecrow to justice. Wait, are you telling me that this is a normal man? And then at night he turns into this flaming skeleton.
I mean, we're not telling you anything. You're telling the people.
Yeah.
Well, just by looking at this, I would give it a...
It's a sponsor.
They're sponsored. Don't make us lose We already lost one sponsorship.
Yeah.
Kane already dropped us. We don't need Ghost Rider to drop us.
Wait, you can't be honest with your sponsors?
Not this one.
No. This is 2K.
You know
this is the real money.
You know who played him in the movie? Nicolas Cage. We don't want to piss Nicolas Cage off, do we?
No, you don't.
Yeah, so rate it high.
10 out of 10. Just go ahead.
I give it one Ghost Rider out of one Ghost Rider.
All right.
Yeah.
Ghost Rider for PS2, not a sponsor. Now throw it at the camera.
Don't knock the camera over.
Throw it at the camera.
What if I
We
hit?
throw the game.
Just
Though.
throw it.
That's
Throw
how
it.
we do it.
Yeah. Awesome.
So hit it. Yeah, we're just simultaneous there. We're going into it. Hit it. You go, Daniel.
We've reached the final bit of our podcast here, where we shout out those of you who stuck with us to the end last week. Now, if you stick with us all the way to the end of the podcast, like if you're watching right now, you're one of the select few. And not only do we want to recognize you, but we love you. So throw a comment down in the comments that says 3 for Dale, just to let us know that you're here.
Yep.
But last week, hit us with the 3 for Dale Club, Randy.
Yeah. Last week we had Landon Stallings, who is like our 3 for Dale like chairman.
Yeah, he's like the chairman of the Winston Cup.
Yeah.
How do you know he actually watches it and doesn't just put 3 for Dale?
I guess we don't, but I trust him.
Landon wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I trust
Maybe
Landon.
you should change it up and put like 8 for Dale.
We're not doing that.
Why are you blaspheming on our podcast?
We're not doing that. Our code word is not changing. It's Stan 3 for Dale. Don't listen to her.
Uh-uh.
And then also, we got a new member for the 3 for Dale Club, Subarashi.
Thanks, Subarashi.
So, there you go. That's 3 for Dale Club.
Sick.
Well, until next time, guys, I'm Randy.
And I'm Daniel.
And I'm Catherine.
And this has been Gaming Gig.
Peace out.